Versus.
I'm Stone Cold.
And I'm Trending with Alyssa. And this is a male-female perspective podcast. So today's topic is girls chat. So we have our guests, Allie and Tyler. So we're going to start off with a game.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to play Who's Most Likely To.
Okay.
We're going to read some questions, and then y'all have to tell us who out of us is most likely to do it.
Okay.
Yes. All right. So the first question is, who's most likely to obey any dare?
Taya.
I want to say Taya, but
I want to say too, but it could potentially be Allie.
Oh, Daredevil.
I am up for a challenge.
I feel like she
I'm
would
so
like
competitive though.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
So it's probably
Are you?
mm-hmm.
depending on how bad that dare is, I'm like,
yeah, like
Yeah,
Allie would
yeah.
be like, challenge accepted.
I can see
You don't
that,
think
actually.
I will? Try me.
Give me another one.
Actually, I take Ty back. I'm lying because no,
Taya
she's
would.
not actually going to.
She's
do
low-key
everything you
shy.
ask her to. Yeah. Okay, bet. So Allie,
Yeah.
Yeah.
who's most likely to be the extra one in the group? I feel like you're about to come for me.
Well, then.
Because
Knock,
reality
knock,
is,
Hello? You gonna open the door?
hello, this is extra.
Honestly, though, I think we're an extra group.
Yes,
Yeah.
but like, this is the
But-
thing. Between the two of you, actually, it would be more you. I feel like if it was like, we about to go out, everybody else would probably like, automatically think chill, and then Alyssa would be like, no, I'm about to get
literally.
all the way done up. And
And
then
then
you're
you'd be
like,
like,
is this too much?
That's true.
Yeah, like this
Is
extra.
this extra? Okay. So the next one is, who's most likely to switch up their feelings towards a significant other? Let me finish the question.
I'm trying to be like a bad habit.
I would be like, bro, one day she would really come to us like, I
I
bet my
am in love.
husband, like he's the one. Bro, the next day she'd be like, no, I couldn't do it. No, he was ugly. I didn't like his personality. Like, bro, you were in love with the man yesterday.
Yeah,
it
it
was
so
so
true.
true.
Should I be like a bad habit for sure?
I will. Fool me once.
Okay.
You won't fool me again. Ain't no fool me twice. Fool me. There's no.
That's funny.
This you.
The last one. Who's most likely to get deep at any time?
So here's the thing. I really felt this is Alyssa because what?
I'm
She starts it. No, she
Yeah.
starts it. Alyssa starts it because we'll literally be chilling, and
Alyssa
she'll
will
be
start
like,
it.
"Okay, let's go around the room."
Alyssa will start it.
No, let's go around
Yes.
the room and say why we're most thankful, and then from there, I can't.
Let's
help
say
but
we
know
really
why.
appreciate
But we can have a
Yes,
real
oh God.
conversation and Stoney be like, okay, now let's be real now.
Exactly.
Because I feel like,
I only do that if we're already in the deep conversation.
No,
not
no.
at all. I got it.
Exactly.
No, I'm gonna stick with my
No,
answer.
no, I'm serious.
Alyssa starts it. I just have to go with it.
Okay,
Yes.
both of us bet.
Pass it
Like,
off.
what?
Fine.
We are peanut butter and jelly when it comes to being deep.
Okay.
Basically.
We go
Sorry,
together.
I'm not sorry.
Exactly.
Okay, bet.
All right, so we're going to get into our topic and have some real talk. We're going to talk about a bunch of random stuff that pertains to women.
Bet. Okay, so we're gonna talk about relationships and dating in general. So, like, what are the type of things that you look for in a man?
Common sense.
That's a big one.
Oof.
Because, I mean, honey, do
Right.
they have it?
Right.
Humor, for sure. For me.
Christian.
Absolutely.
We
Definitely.
have to have the same religion. I
Yeah,
think.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
If we're going to be talking about like physical
Looks.
appearance, I like beards. I like
Mhm.
tall.
Mm,
I like
no.
dark.
Give me short. Not short, like my
Oh
height.
my
Oh. Listen, I am the 1%
I am dead.
that don't like tall people. Like, I'm not with
You
it.
gotta be taller than me.
No, I don't care. I don't want you to be a Amazon to me. That's what I don't
Oh,
want.
I'm trying to get the Amazon to Amazon. Like,
No, thank you.
oh yeah.
Shorts. That is unheard of.
Yeah, me.
I just like
Rare,
someone
though.
to have like good convo with. Like, I really can't
Yeah.
stand the like WYD now. How
Yeah,
are you
just
today?
get off my phone.
I cannot do it. Like,
Yeah,
I
I
need
definitely
substance
need
to
a full
conversation.
conversation.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Without me, oh my god.
Like,
Like,
please.
bro.
Be quiet.
Bro, it's
Yeah,
so
no, I can't do it.
annoying. I can't.
Yeah.
I feel like I also need someone that's family oriented.
For
Like,
sure.
If
Yeah.
you not like no shade, but like if you're not close to your family, it's just, it might low-key be an issue because I'm very close to mine.
Yeah.
So I need you to, like, understand, like, the importance of, like, family.
Or if
Yeah,
you're not
like,
close to your family, there has to be a valid reason.
Exactly.
Right,
yes.
Or
Like
if
it
you're not
matters.
close to your mama. Because that really speaks volumes.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but it does. How a man treats his mom is how he's going to treat you.
that's very true.
That's very true, yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah, it's good. So, speaking of men and dating, how do you like the approach to happen? Like, do you like to be the one to approach them, or do you like them to approach you? Have you ever approached?
I almost did
You know
once,
what?
but I actually never really have.
No, I haven't.
I don't
Oh,
think
wow. I
either.
have every single time.
Really?
Yes.
What do you be
I think I
saying?
come off very either standoffish or like I'm just really not interested. But I just don't care. Like, what's the worst that can happen? He's like, no.
Rejection? What you mean?
And it's never happened. That's not, I'm not trying to
Okay,
That's
back on me.
That's
Back
literally
on
what
me.
happened.
I
I'm
what
really
you be
good at
saying?
reading like social cues. And I'll just be like, hey. And then it goes from there. That's why I'm my boyfriend now. We literally, I DM'd him on Instagram.
Yeah,
Literally.
yeah.
I was like, you
Actually,
look
I
really
remember
familiar.
that.
And then
That's
boom.
crazy because I literally just saw a tweet like that. Like this girl was like, I slid into his DMs and I guess it worked out, and it was like these years of pictures with
Wow.
him.
That's,
That's
actually
beautiful.
very cute.
Because
It
girls are like
is.
scared of rejection, but like guys are too.
Yeah,
They
Like,
are.
it's like much worse.
I just feel like I want the man to like find me. I don't know.
He who finds a good wife finds a good
Okay,
thing.
you feel me? Like it don't say he who finds a husband. You feel me?
I get that.
I do too.
But
then
once
again,
I say the initial hello, and listen, I'm not let's
Gonna
go on a
wanna
date.
chase you, yeah.
Let me give
Yeah.
you
like,
number.
you know, I'm
I'm
interested.
just saying the
Pursue me.
initial hello.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
You know what I
I
mean?
get-
And the rest is
definitely.
up to you.
like, what's a really weird like an experience that a male has approached you and you just been like, actually, nah, that wasn't it.
Oh man,
My old
Ah!
manager.
really? A
Ooh.
manager?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you do?
It was like we closed the door. I'm like, already, I don't even know why you're closing the door because we're already in the office. So to me, that's just like inappropriate.
Weird, yeah.
But he just closed the door and he's like, so, it was not work related, which
Yeah.
automatically becomes inappropriate.
Mhm.
It was just a weird
Especially with the door
situation.
closed, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you're trying to do, and it makes me think like it's probably worked with other people,
Right.
right.
Yeah.
and so
Like you
But
were
yeah.
the first one.
right,
Yeah.
Nah, and unless it's succeeded
Mhm.
before because you're trying it again.
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Like you're boo boo.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That's crazy. The worst approach is just like probably younger years, obviously for me.
Mhm.
It's like the let me smack her butt real quick.
Yeah.
I turn around.
Like, don't touch me,
Don't touch
especially
me
on my
at all.
butt.
Like,
Like,
the club,
I used to
the
fight
extra
for
that.
excuse me.
Yes.
You have so much.
Or the
room.
I hate the
you have so much
Hey, yo,
room.
miss.
Like, you have a whole
Yeah.
path.
hey don't know hey don't miss me
There's
No.
really no need to touch me
at all. Like
Really
I'm
isn't.
pretty sure I made my way through this before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I really hate when guys, like, when you don't give them that attention back, but they still will, like, hey, babe you, or, like, somebody, like, tweeted me and was like, I'm literally obsessed with trending with Alyssa. Like, I don't even talk to you. That's weird to
Yeah,
me.
That is
like,
weird.
Have
That's
you
actually
people find you on
scary.
social
Like,
media?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
That's
weird.
really
No,
weird.
Right.
I do have one. I remember, I think we were together when we were driving down the street, and this car like followed us down the street for a while.
Yes.
And then when we were at a light, he like rolled his window down and was like, "Hey,
Hey,
you
where you
trying to
about
come
to go?"
kick it with me?"
Yes.
And I'm like,
What?
"No."
Yes.
Literally, like I mean, don't know you, ain't seen you.
Mhm.
We're in two
You're
different
me.
cars. You're following me. This is weird now.
Yeah.
That was
Wow.
probably the most. Like,
That's like actually scary.
We were scared.
I
we
was,
were
and I'm like,
scared.
well, we gotta go a different way because they
You
gonna
do.
follow us.
Like you
that
have to
was
just go
creepy.
drive
And-
to like a jail.
No, we had Mason in the
Right.
car too.
Yeah.
So it's like, you see, we have a whole kid in the car. Why are you
Yeah.
asking us to come to, like, no.
Yeah.
That's
Just
like
too
weird.
aggressive.
It was
There's no
pretty
boundaries.
weird. Yeah,
Yeah.
you went too far. So, like, speaking of like being approached with kids, like, how do y'all feel about dating? Like, for us, it's different because we have kids. So we have
Y'all got
kids.
kids.
But so, like,
Singular.
what do you guys? How do
Singular.
y'all feel about like dating with kids, or like maybe for y'all dating a person with
That's
kids?
scary. Like
Yeah.
somewhat. Like me having a kid.
Yeah.
How do I like one? I don't even know if I want you to meet my kid.
Yeah.
Right.
And then it's like, also, if you have a kid, do we really want to let our kids meet
I
each
always
other?
toil with the like, how long do I wait to introduce my
Mm-hmm.
kid? Because I battle with like, okay, if I wait so super long, then like, what if we're at a good place, but then when you meet my child,
It's
y'all's
different.
vibe is off.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But if I do it too soon, then they get attached, then like, and we don't work out, then what? Like that is, and I think that's probably why I don't purposefully do it, but I feel I tend to attract men with children already. But I feel like it's easier because we kind of have like an understanding of like respect and like boundaries and like really knowing like
Interesting.
if I'm hesitant, you know why, because like you're in the same boat.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That it just has to be an established conversation when it comes to that.
Definitely.
Because
If they don't have kids,
both ways.
Okay.
Like, I don't know how you're going. One, I need to know how you're going to perceive the fact that I have a child in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, if I tell you I have a child and I already get this off vibe, it's like
Yeah, we done.
time wasted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I feel like for me, I would never like be like, oh, I can't talk to you because you have a kid. Obviously, I wouldn't mind dating someone that doesn't have children, but I feel like if I were to date someone that has children, I need to know what the situation is. Like, I don't think I would.
the-
With the parent, yeah, with the other parent, like how many, like. I feel like there definitely is a cutoff
Yeah.
for sure, because
Absolutely.
if I were to be a blended family, I would never want to be that stepmom that like treats my kid differently than theirs. And I feel like if they had a lot, that would probably happen. Like, just naturally, honestly, like not intended to be, but I feel like I would want to know the situation first. Like, what's the relationship with your baby mom?
Yeah.
Like,
Your
yeah, all
child's
of that.
mother.
Could we potentially
Your
have
child's
maximum-
mother. I'm sorry, y'all. Is that rude?
It ain't rude, but people are touchy about that.
How is the relationship with your child's mother?
There we go.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, personally, I wouldn't date anybody with kids only because I don't want kids myself. So if the situation and relationship, because I'm at the age now where I'm not really just dating casually.
Right.
Like I'm gonna date and eventually you'll probably be my husband.
Right.
So like that's a conversation, like you said, that needs to be had either way. But
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I really don't want kids. So
Right.
I wouldn't be fair for anyone involved.
Right.
Me,
Yeah.
So if
him,
I don't
the
want my
kid.
own, why would I
Want
want to
to
be a stepmom
take
to somebody
yours.
else's
Right.
kid?
Like, clearly that didn't happen for a reason.
Right. So,
Yeah.
because I've talked to my boyfriend now, and neither of us want kids, so it's pretty
It works.
solid.
It works
yeah.
out.
It's actually very lit.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like is a common?
That's a
ground?
conversation we had.
And I think people have to realize that, like, guys have to realize, and females have to realize, like, that not every every female is maternal.
Right.
And, like,
Mm-hmm.
don't always assume that
Yeah.
females just want
And
kids.
don't
Right.
shame her
Right.
for that either.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
actually
very
weird
weird.
too, because like now that I am like, before I became a mom, I used to think I was like super maternal, like, oh my god, I can't wait to have kids, and I just had this idea of the type of mom I would be.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I had a kid, it was like the first year I feel like I was that type of mom, and then as time progressed, I changed. Like, and not to say like I'm any less of a like loving mother or anything like that,
Right.
but like I'm just not the type of mom that I just assumed I would be.
Right.
And that's like a shock to me, low key,
And
because
that's
I'm
okay,
like,
too.
oh,
Right.
okay.
Yeah, it's hard to know what you're gonna be like when you have
Yeah.
when you don't have a
It
kid.
is.
Yeah.
Like, I know I was scared because literally for a whole 2 years, maybe one, I can't remember. But I said I wasn't having kids. Like, I was
Really?
like, man, I don't like your kids. I don't want my kids, and
I'm
don't bring them
dead.
here.
That's
Like,
funny. I was like the opposite. I was
Actually-
like, I want like 5 kids, but I grew up in
Yeah.
a house with like several people, so
Yeah,
I like
right.
I always liked that
Right.
idea. But after having one, I'm like, oh, like this is not a game, actually.
Yeah.
That's
And
so
it's like,
true. I feel like it might be not always opposite, but like Jay, she was that girl to be like, kid, what
Yeah.
kid? Like, girl, no, but she is such a good mom to her kid.
Yeah.
like, and it's like it maybe changed like within like maybe a year. Like, I would
Yeah.
say, okay, let me stop saying I don't want kids because I ain't got time for guys jokes. So now I feel like I'm forced to be in this position, but not only am I forced to be in it, I enjoy it.
You have to, for one, be realistic. Like, what type of person are you? Like,
Right.
what's your patience level?
Realistic
Like, your,
expectations.
all of that.
Are you gonna
and,
have the means to even be the mom you want to be?
yeah,
Right.
like,
And every kid is different.
and that too,
Absolutely.
yeah, for sure.
a lot of moms really might say like, I'm not enjoying this.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
This is making me not want
And
another one.
yeah.
And that's okay to say.
What's your longest relationship, and what did you learn from that longest relationship?
My longest relationship,
That's a relationship.
was 2 months. My situationship, however, was about 9 years.
So
What did you learn?
A lot, actually.
in short.
To sum it up, I just learned a lot about myself, my tolerance, and like it really put in perspective what I perceive my worth as. Because
It's a hard lesson.
yeah, like you really don't realize the type of stuff that you'll stop tolerating once you realize what your worth actually is versus what someone
Or once you
convinces
stop
you.
tolerating.
Or yeah,
Right.
like because
Yeah.
I mean,
You're out
for
of it.
a long time, I was just convinced of my worth by someone else's opinion or perception of me, rather than like what I actually thought of myself.
Mhm.
What was yours?
It was like 3 years. I don't know. I learned a lot from that. I was really young though. Like we got into a serious relationship during like really crucial years.
Yeah.
So I was like a sophomore in college. So
Mhm.
what? 20? I turned 21
yeah.
when I was with him, and it was just, and he was the same age, so he was going through the same things.
Yeah.
So that taught me to not date anyone my age.
Do you feel like you guys
Not.
were like too like
Wait,
struggling?
it's older?
He's 27.
Oh, damn, you know.
Do you feel like you guys were like toiling between like trying to figure out yourselves as
Mhm.
well as how to make a relationship work in the process of that? Is
Yeah,
that-
definitely. We
yeah.
were each other's first serious relationship, so
Okay.
it was just a whole lot
A
of
learning
figuring
process,
yeah.
out the whole time. Like it ended up ending badly, but yeah, I learned a lot from it and about myself, how to be in a relationship, what realistic expectations, because
Yeah.
obviously I was like, we're gonna get married,
Right.
and that's not always the case with everybody you're with.
Yeah.
So things
Yeah.
like that too. So
That's good.
It is what, almost 8 years.
Okay. Mike, what have
Sure.
you
What
learned?
I've learned is to literally, there is no proper way. It's
Yeah,
literally,
it's like
you can't not be true to yourself.
mhm.
Period.
That's
Because if you're
dope.
not, like, one, you got to know what yourself is.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what yourself is, you're going to be living in these moments
That's very
and
important.
not knowing.
Yeah.
And then once you actually realize, like, wow, I don't know, then you want to start searching for it. And then it just,
Mhm.
It's hard to
It
do
could
that with
either-
your partner.
it could either
Detour.
be real good or
Yeah.
it can be real bad.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, he's not gonna know.
Absolutely.
Literally. It's a lot of soul searching. Like, it really teaches you about yourself. And with it being, like, my first real relationship,
Mhm.
too, it's like
That's a lot.
it's literally going back to school for a whole nother subject that they didn't teach you in school.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So,
good.
Yeah.
No, that's good. Longest relationship was 4.5 years. And I've definitely learned a lot from it. I feel like I also was very young. Like we started dating when I was 19, he was 18, until I was 23. So I feel like those years were definitely years that I was learning myself. And learning yourself and trying to learn and live with a
Mhm.
whole other personality is a lot of work. And so, yeah, it was definitely necessary because, like I said, I've learned a lot, I've grown a lot, and I feel like now I can know what to look for or what I want in a man. Because that was my first, like, relationship actually ever. It wasn't even, like, my first serious relationship. It was my first relationship ever.
Mhm.
So I feel like I have a clearer mind of, like, what I would put up with, what I wouldn't, like, what I definitely won't do again, what I like. So
Right.
Yeah.
it kind of
For
prepared
sure.
me for, like, my years now, honestly. So, yeah.
Kind of even just understanding like the soul searching and like dating and relationships and stuff. Like, how do you guys feel about living with significant others, especially before marriage?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a necessity. I honestly
Wow.
think
Interesting. Okay.
That is interesting. Yeah.
it's a necessity. Like, okay, wait, I have to take 2 steps back. it's not a necessity, but it's definitely like something like you at least need to spend a couple of nights back to back to back to back to back.
I need to low key live with each other.
Right. Because you have no idea about what somebody is when they leave, like, away from you.
Yeah.
And like if I'm not required to be around you 24 hours or at least 10 hours.
Yeah.
Out of the 24 we have a day, then I don't really know much, to be honest, because out of the 10 hours we got, it's because you done spent all morning working, you done probably went somewhere, you got church, you got Bible study, you got a kid, you got something else that's having your attention.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like living with each other, it just reveals like things you would have never even picked up. Like,
so
it's very interesting.
That is interesting because I feel like that type of stuff you can kind of gauge an idea of, but I don't feel like those would be necessarily deal breakers for me in a man. Right. So when I don't live with that significant other, I'm in a relationship and I love that man for what he is, or etc., a whole list of things. So when I'm at the altar saying for better for worse, I'm talking about all them things that you do at home that I don't know about yet that's going to irritate me.
Yeah, toilet
so
seat,
exactly. So like for me, I probably would never live with a significant other. That doesn't mean that like spending nights won't happen, or like spending just like a long period of time with that person won't happen. I just feel like I want that like newness of getting married and living with each other and like finding out those things, even if they irritate me. That's what I signed up for when I was at the altar.
Yeah.
I don't think I would. I'm weird though. I feel like now they're gonna judge me.
I'm dead.
Because I don't want kids, and I also don't like to spend too much time with this.
No, but people are like
No,
that.
There's
like,
literally those people who have
like,
two
need
houses
your time.
and are happily married and just don't live together.
At
like
all.
those type of people exist.
My max is probably 48 hours with the same person, and I'm like, okay.
I'm cool like 10 days, and I'm like, ooh.
No, literally 2 days, and I'm like, I want to be by myself. I
but there's
really
nothing wrong
enjoy
with that.
and value my
Like,
personal space and time.
yeah, I feel like that's personality type. Like
Yeah.
that personality type, they need their time alone to like refuel.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah.
So
Right.
that
And
I
as
can
long
be
as
a
the other
good
person understands
Right,
that,
exactly.
then like
Yeah.
that can work.
And it works.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because like me and Brandon were in a good relationship, in a good space before I moved into my own apartment, and we did talk about moving in together. But I'm like, I don't think I want to do that.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it,
Mm-hmm.
and he respects it, so he'll be over my house maybe twice a week, maybe.
Yeah.
And then that is how we work, and it works for us. Like whenever I tell other people that, they're like, it's kind of weird.
No, I definitely
But-
get it. It's
Yeah.
balance, first of all.
Yeah.
It's definitely balance.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, and compromise too, because he's not like that. He's very affectionate.
I was just
He
about to
could-
say,
he's not
how
like
is
that.
he in
So he
regards
does
to
it for
that?
me.
That's beautiful, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not.
Kudos, Brandon.
Yeah. I'm never living with my significant other before I get married. For one, for my principles, for my morals. But for two, and I kind of also have this like underlying thought of like, if I'm already living with you prior to us being married or even engaged, like, what am I leaving for you to discover about me? Like, how are we growing together? How are we building together? Like, where do we go from here? And I've asked people several times that have lived together before they're married, like, now what? Like, when you get married, then what? Then what happens? What changes? Like, what's different?
That's really good.
And for a lot of them, it's like, oh, well, we're just officially married. And I don't know, that just doesn't
do it for
that
you.
doesn't satisfy me.
Yeah.
Like, I want to truly like build and grow together. I want us to like really,
I agree with that.
become a unit.
You a bad girl and your friends bad too. Oh, you got the swag, saucy drippin' swag goo. You a bad girl and your friends bad too. Oh, you got the swag, saucy drippin' swag goo. Oh.
We're gonna get into the segment of friendships.
How many of us have them?
Right.
Hey.
Wow.
Okay.
Once we can depend on
So
your
ugly. Simple question: are you good at making friends? I'm gonna start this one. Okay. I feel like it's not that I'm not good at making friends. I just feel like I'm cool with the friends I got. Like, I actually don't need any more.
Yeah.
But,
But
it's not like that I'm really into like making people feel good about themselves and like helping other people. So like I'm totally down for making friends if like you need me type of thing, and vice versa. Like I may need that person at that season. So like I'm not completely shunned off to it, but I definitely am in like I have a lot of friends. I'm actually cool. Like
Literally.
so yeah.
I don't think I'm bad at making friends, but I have become more selective about the type of people I even would consider a friend.
Yeah.
I have a lot of long-term, like I actually take pride in the fact that like I have a lot of long-term friendships. Like I'm not, I don't have a lot of new friends. Like a lot of people I'm friends with have been around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But kind of what you said, like I'm also open to the idea of like there may be people you need in certain seasons and vice versa. But at the same time, I have to be very careful. Like, does that make you my friend, or are you that person? True. Are you, you know, an associate or a confidant that I need in that moment or that phase of life? And then, just like knowing, like, okay, it might be time to let you go, and it's not bad blood.
But everyone doesn't have to be a long term, friendship.
Yeah,
that's true.
Not at all.
Are you good at making friends, Allie?
I think I'm really good at making friends. I just don't like to. I mean, like you said, like I'm comfortable with the friends I have.
Yeah.
Like I'm a friendly person. I'm not shy at all, but I really don't feel like I need more friends.
Right.
I mean, that sounds bad.
No,
but
it's not. I mean, it's what it is.
I think the word friends is just not overrated, but
you just gotta be careful.
It's actually very underrated. Because it's like I'm not bad at making friends. I'm actually really great at making friends. But I'm not opposed to it. But you're not starting off my friend. That's
like
I'm not walking into
too loosely.
Like I'm not walking into the situation like
start off as friends.
Hey,
like I used to be that person. Like everyone's my friend. What do you mean?
No. And then you learn that the hard way because the one that you thought was your friend was that one who didn't told your business, and now you found out. And it's just too much. I think if you're supposed to be in my life for a season, let me figure out the role you're supposed to play. And 9 times out of 10, if 50 seasons later you still here, okay.
Now you're my friend.
You probably are my friend.
The title.
You probably are, but I'm not going to the skating ring and we have a whole conversation. I'd be like, my friend said this. It don't work like that. It don't. And
people get offended by that too.
They do, but
I think you just have to grow up and realize that like
it's maturity.
Everybody ain't your friend. Like you can have associates, acquaintances, and like
work friends,
common people.
That's
a difference.
That's true.
Yeah.
I always say like it's okay to not mesh or like someone. Like I'm not saying to dislike them in a disrespectful manner, but like it's okay that you don't vibe with somebody that somebody else might. Like that shouldn't be offensive.
That's
like
actually that should be a thing because that just shows that you're not just trying to pull every person.
Exactly.
You're being genuine and intentional about the people you're surrounding yourself with.
The word like I value it differently.
Right.
So it's like I'm not just handing it off like
I'm
just
everybody's friends
or a Secret Santa Christmas gift. No, it's I'm intentionally wrapping this gift specifically for this person because I want them to have it out the kindness of my heart.
Right,
and that's a bond that we're probably going to build.
For sure.
But I gotta pick who I want to build with too because I mean. I'm not about to just be building with nobody, especially when it comes to different personalities, different ways that you move. Like I said, birds of feather flock together, and I don't want certain things that a certain person does to reflect on my character
or influence.
Literally, because stuff picks up. Like even if it's as little as like one of my best friends literally does not cuss at all. Like she literally says ass.
I'm dead, so we're me okay. Continue.
I'm mad we all got quiet like
No, not you, sis.
Not this one, but she literally uses like the first letters of every cuss word.
That's funny, yeah.
And because we spent so much time together,
You started
me and our
picking
other
it up.
best friend, we literally, that's all we say. And people used to be like, well, why do you say that? Well, I honestly don't know. But my
Yeah.
friend did this, and
Exactly.
then it
My
her language.
grandma always used to say, "You are
Right.
who you surround yourself with."
Yeah,
That's
literally.
so true.
Absolutely.
Literally.
So on the topic of friends, like, have you guys lost friends? And if so, why? If you don't know, then
Mhm.
that too. But like, yeah, have you guys lost friends?
Yes.
For sure.
I definitely have lost friends along the way. I feel like it's either been two reasons. One, it's just kind of been like we've been in different seasons. Like we've just kind of grown
That
apart.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You should grow.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like that's not a bad thing at all.
Yeah.
Right.
But there also definitely has been situations where I'm very confused. I'm like, what happened? But and I still don't know to this day.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
really fine because like you said earlier, like there's different friends for different seasons.
Mhm.
And when you elevate and when you're growing, there's a certain people that like don't need to come from like with you.
Yeah.
And again, that's no shade to them. They could be on a completely different path growing.
Right,
Like
right.
it's not to mean that they're not growing as well. Just everybody just doesn't need to go where you're going. Like it's just not.
I
meant
know
for
that's
that.
right.
So
Yeah.
I haven't lost a friend, but that's true.
I don't think I have either. I think two personalities have outgrown
Yeah.
like the space of being together. But to actually lose a friend, like I can't even think of like friends like that I still like probably don't even talk to
Mhm.
on a maybe even a monthly basis.
Mhm.
Does that not make us friends? No. Like I still claim her as my friend. We
Yeah.
generally can,
Like if you were
when
to
we get-
talk one day, it would be like nothing.
like she can
ever
still call
happened.
me now,
Exactly.
text me
Yeah.
now. Like she's even done it. Like
But that's a
you
friend.
can text
Exactly.
me now. It's nothing different. Like
Right.
it's
True
states
friend.
away.
Yeah,
Exactly.
for sure.
Yeah.
But
That's
to actually
That's a good point.
lose one,
Yeah.
I don't think so. Like I
That's
can
what's
honestly
up.
say no.
I have lost friends, and I say friends plural because I've lost several.
Mhm.
And at one point I'm like, dang, is it me? Am I doing something wrong? But the ones that I've like truly like I've lost friends where we've lost touch, we've lost like communication, the whole nine, and then like years later kind of pick up and it's like, oh, like
Mhm.
we're still cool, like things are still fine. But then I've like completely lost friends, and I mean like best friends, like people who were like,
Mhm.
this is my
Ride or
ride or
die.
die, like this is
Mhm.
my friend. And I like you, I have no idea why,
Yeah.
no explanation for it, and it used to bug me
of
because I'm
course.
so like,
Yeah.
sensitive is not a word, but I want to
Mhm.
say that so bad. But I assess myself so often, and I really try to like gauge like the things that are happening around me, and it took me a minute to like try to figure out like what did I do, like what
Yeah.
type of person was I being, was I still being a true friend to them? But I also came to the conclusion that like some stuff is just really not meant for you to know. Like
Yes.
you
Yeah.
really just have to just understand like things happen and they all happen for a reason, and
That's
you just
good
gotta
too.
you just
Yeah.
can't get stuck
Yeah.
in that phase like,
Yeah.
oh man,
That's
I
a
lost a
true
friend, and like
testament of maturity,
It,
too.
like,
Yeah.
it's okay.
you just
for it to-
you gotta move on.
Gotta move on.
And I mean, if it's meant for that person to be in your life for whatever reason at whatever time, then like that'll happen.
Yeah.
But in that moment, you just have to really just take it for what it is, and like
Yeah.
not be in denial and all that, and but just like, okay,
like know that it's okay.
yeah, like
Yeah.
it's fine. Like we're
Yeah.
not friends, and for me personally, I'm not a grudge holder, and I definitely
Yeah.
don't like harbor ill feelings towards people. So I'm just like, it ain't even bad blood. I don't got
Same.
nothing against you, but like I've
Yeah.
just come to the understanding that like we're not in the same space anymore, and
Right.
it's cool.
Yeah.
It's perfectly
For sure.
fine.
I feel like a lot of times when that happens, like, and I don't know, at the end of the day, like, I'm still cool with you. Like,
Yeah,
I may not know what
yeah.
happened, but like, if I see you, I'm not gonna be rude. I'm gonna be like, oh, hey, girl,
Right,
like,
for sure.
Yeah.
it's nothing. But again, like I said, that also is something that kind of takes maturity
Yeah.
for
It
you
does.
to
Mhm.
respond in that type of way with someone
Yeah.
that you don't have any communication with
Right.
anymore.
Yeah.
Because even though like sometimes you can realize like I don't communicate with this person as often
Yeah.
anymore, the other person could really be thinking like,
Oh,
Well, she
talk
don't
to
like
her,
me.
so,
Yeah.
yeah.
so I guess we got beef. I mean, I don't got no beef, but I mean, whatever her problem is, and that's
Mhm.
a problem. In
Yeah.
itself.
I agree.
Yeah.
So this kind of goes hand in hand with maybe not knowing whatever happens to lost friendships, but do you trust females and their motives? So like, I feel like there's females that just go into maybe a friendship or something not really trusting another female or like what their motive is because of maybe something that has happened in the past. So do you guys feel like that's your story, or like do you not relate?
I think it depends on the person.
Yeah.
Which female? Like, not saying like asking which female, like you guys would know, but like for me, it's like, what, like, do I know of this person, or am I stepping into like a whole stranger? Like, am I prejudging a stranger?
Okay.
Like, I don't ever want to prejudge a stranger, but if there's somebody that there was history with, or something, it's like, I'm not putting myself in that situation. No, I don't trust that person because I've already witnessed stuff, or even felt, or even had some type of something happen, or some type of bad interaction that just isn't comfortable for me. So I'm not going to put myself in that situation at all.
I don't distrust females necessarily. It's just people in general, because I think that's like a stereotype. Like with women, like we all like secretly, well, some of us secretly have like malicious intent or like some type of
motive,
undertone, right? But like males can be just as deceiving and things like that. So I'm leery of whoever I want to give my time and energy to, and allow into my space. So it's not really just females, but I do understand what you're saying.
Anybody can represent, or whatever people want to use the word of.
Secret hippie.
I
do not play by my space. Okay? I will sage you any minute. I will sage you at the door.
I feel like I don't really have like a distrust with females. I feel like I just have like mad discernment, and I'm usually like dead on every time. So it's like, it's whatever I feel about you. Like if I feel like you have a different intent or motive, I'm gonna be kind of like, hold up. But like I said, if I feel good and you have I have no history of like your name or who you are as a person, I low key easily trust. Honestly,
that is me. I am like,
everybody is
like good. Everybody has good intentions. Like I always try to find, like I will never go into a situation assuming the worst about anybody.
It's okay.
I'm gonna give you the chance, like right off the bat, and then and I honestly, I have so much more patience with building friendships, because I also like my mindset when it comes to stuff like that is like the type of person I am. Like I know there have been phases of time where I've been a crappy person or a crappy friend, but I know at the end of the day my heart and my intent was never to be, harmful to that person or whatever the case may be. So I always had that mindset in the back of my mind, like, although this person did X, Y, and Z, like, what is their heart? Like, what do they really mean for me, and I try to just be considerate that in every area. So I'm never gonna like jump in a situation and be like, I don't trust her, unless
you give me a reason.
Unless I like y'all said, like have history, and I know, and even in that case, I also am very particular about creating my own judgment about a person. Like I don't base, and I. This is so funny. I've always had this problem with my friends with like that whole, well, she don't like you, I don't like you. I'm not that person. If you've never given me personally a direct reason to dislike you or have an issue with you, I won't ever.
Literally.
I'm not gonna judge you based off of your situation with another person. So like, I'm not that person either.
No. I think that's very childish for people to do. Actually,
it's a real thing. It's a real, and then people get so combative, like, you my friend and you gonna be friends with them, or you don't got, and I'm like, actually that's none of my business. Like your situation with them don't have nothing to do
unless
with
it was something super off the wall.
Like
grow up.
Right. Like I can like whoever's pictures I want, or I can talk to whoever I feel like they haven't done anything malicious to me. Granted,
I respect boundaries. Exactly.
Right.
Like
I'm not gonna bring y'all around.
Like I'm considerate of that.
And granted, if that person or whoever, because like you guys said, it's not even a woman thing. That's like everybody. If I'm aware of the issue that y'all had, yes, I'd be cautious, but I'm not about to be like,
I can't
no,
be your friend
trash
because of
them.
them. Yeah.
Right.
That's my
We
friend.
actually have a lot of friendships like that, like equally.
Yeah.
That's
Like what?
maturity.
Yeah.
Like
Like
just
other
friends that like
people.
may not be crazy about her, but like that doesn't bother like my friendship with them, or vice versa. Like
Oh.
they may not be crazy about me, but like that has
Right.
nothing to do with their
Yeah, and
it
friendship at
shouldn't.
all.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm just, I mean, like, I will always be, like, respectful and even, like, protective of that person and their, you know, attitude towards you. But it's not going to keep me from my
Being your
relationship
friend,
with them.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's separate. Have you guys ever, like, just seen a person and just, like, I want to be their friend? Like,
No. Okay, I'm lying. No, I definitely am lying. But it's usually
yes, you
like,
have. You for sure have.
But it's usually like influencers, like
Celebrities
bigger people. Yeah,
and
like
such.
yes. Like I don't really like
Look at common people.
look at
peasants.
This sounds so horrible.
You don't look at peasants and say you want to be their friend.
No, don't call them peasants. But like I don't
That's
like.
not horrible.
But I don't like. That's just not me because I don't know them. So like, what do I
Okay,
have
like
for me
your-
to be like? Oh, I really want to be their friend. Whereas all the people that I really want to be their friend is like Sarah Jakes, Ashton Parsley. Like it's big like influences that I'm like that I know a lot about through social media. You know what I'm saying? A lot about because I only know what they share.
Right. How much?
But right, but it's still they inspire me in a different way, so it makes me want to be their friend. Whereas like people like us, they don't really. Okay,
Like-
this is bad.
Like
Never
your
mind.
own tax bracket or your own social status.
Yeah, like my peers. Like I
Yeah.
never will look at a peer and be like, I really want to be their friend. Like actually,
Right. I've never done that.
no.
But I mean, it sounds very blunt, but I've had people want to be my friend,
For
and
sure.
it's just
And I don't get it because what?
yeah.
I'm sorry, that's a different topic.
I'm not
sorry.
sure if anybody's ever wanted to be my friend.
They probably have. You probably just don't
I
know.
probably won't know, but I don't think I've ever had the desire. Like, I wanted to be a girlfriend. Chris Brown was that. But
Chris Brown, what's up?
He's not watching this.
Just
Or he
joking.
might be.
Dumb as
Exactly.
Don't discount your blessings, honey. But no, I've never actually wanted to be
Like, be somebody's
somebody's
friend.
friend. Like, I may have wanted to like be like, "Hey, girl, you look real good," or like
yeah, like
a compliment.
your
but I
outfit is
feel
cute,
like
but like,
a
can we
friend.
be friends? No.
I don't like this topic.
Why? Because you want to be everybody's friend like mine. Now, let's talk about that. So, Stoney wanted to be my friend so bad. So, like, go
I
ahead,
am
girl.
weak. No.
Stoney shoot. She
Go
shot her
ahead.
shot,
Bro,
I
she-
did
and
not.
it succeeded.
No, that's not how it happened. She's so exaggerated. It really wasn't that deep. Like,
So,
first of all, I knew of her through mutual friends. Number one, we had several mutual friends. So
I
there's
only
that.
knew one, so there's that.
And just because you only knew of one doesn't mean that we didn't have mutual friends. We did.
How'd you know that if I didn't know that?
Because I knew your circle.
but you
Exactly.
technically knew two.
I didn't know that.
You knew
One
one and his brother.
Like,
I
she
didn't know
knew all of them.
No, I literally only knew. No.
She didn't know me, but you knew the mutual friends I'm referring to. I knew that you were friends with them. You just
Okay.
didn't know of me like I did
Right.
of you.
Right.
First of all.
Right.
Right.
Anywho,
Right.
Right.
Allie, shut up.
I'm sorry.
And you're not the only person I've ever like kind of like.
Mhm.
It'd be a cool friend.
And I see nothing's wrong with that.
No,
Like,
it's
oh, they
not.
seem cool. They
Yeah.
dress cute.
I'm just playing for real.
No,
But
she
Yeah.
ain't, cause she will have herself like she was
She
no
was
friends. Like, girl, shut up.
That is the truth.
No, but honestly, like it was really more so like
I had to do this.
to your to the extent of like how you feel about like influencers and stuff like that. It was more so that type of thing. Like you stood out to me
Mhm.
amongst the people that you were friends with,
Right.
and
Yeah.
that was what I was just like, that's different. And also because I also like, granted I didn't know you, but I could just tell that you just had a different spirit than like the people you were around. And not to say they didn't have good spirits
Yeah.
or anything like that,
Discernment.
but
Mm-hmm.
I also knew, like, although I wasn't fully operating in, like, who I was and all of that, but I also knew there was a lot of similarity in, like,
Mhm.
how you carried yourself and, like, the type of person you were that I'm, like, maybe I'm too insecure to do that at the moment. But like I
feel like
know
you
if
have a
I
lot of
were
character
to
in
do that, that's like the way you stood out to me is probably how I stand out to other people.
Okay.
That's what was like, okay, that's somebody I need to be in touch with, and not even necessarily friends
This is
with.
new news.
Yeah, also, do you also feel like what she had you like, and that's what drew yourself into her?
No, not necessarily, because I didn't know enough about her in that aspect to know like, oh, she has what I need type thing. But it was like I said, it was more so just like the personality and like who she was just stood out amongst the other people. And that's kind of like something that people have always said about me is like, you're different, you're not like everybody else, like you don't fit in, that type of thing. And I just like the way I could view her was low-key how I felt like people viewed me that I didn't, but I didn't see that.
Right.
So it was that type of thing. And then I mean, like I said, we just had a lot of mutual friends. So it was like bound for us to somehow cross paths at some point. And then when we finally did, and we actually like, because also like they'll let her fool y'all. She would be like, "We need to hang out. You want to see a movie with me? Cool." But then would flake like, I mean,
because
hard, like hard, like.
But I knew that she wanted to be my friend so bad, so I was trying to be that.
Are you done?
Good, like encouraging person. Like, yeah, girls, totally hang out. But,
Okay,
like,
so don't be
had
friends with
no
people like that
desire,
because
honestly.
she had ill intent. She was trying to play me. She was trying to play me.
I didn't have ill intent. It just wasn't.
You never
a
had
real-
the intent of really being my
It
friend.
wasn't a real desire.
And now that
And
I'm
now
her
what?
friend, she literally can't live without
No, I
me.
literally can't.
Literally.
So Stoney is the person to like want to be people's friend, and there's nothing wrong with that. We
It
need
ain't.
people in the world.
It is
like
what
that.
it is.
Yeah.
Or else always
I'm gonna call you out. You gonna be my
Exactly.
friend.
For sure.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
Now, thanks to me, you guys have each other.
You're welcome. So you can follow me at Taya Marie _ or on my All Things Beauty page, TikTok Beauty.
On Instagram, it's Weird Al _ Pretty
Bad,
simple.
bad.
All right.
All right, it's a wrap.
Oh, I missed the memo.
Okay,
She didn't
it's
do
a
it.
wrap.
I don't want to do it.
Follow us on Instagram at versus.podcastfm.
And like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube at Versus Podcast. Stay tuned for our next episode, and don't forget to subscribe.